In today's video, we'll be showing you how to set this Quartz Perpetual calendar Cartier with Moonphase function. So a few things to notice about this piece is that it has a quartz movement as opposed to a automatic or manual wind, which you would most likely see with this kind of functionality. A perpetual calendar mainly comes with the automatic movement or manual wind movements. This also makes it quite delicate, so once the circuit goes on a piece like this or malfunctions, it becomes very difficult to find replacement circuits for it. So it's one that you want to be quite delicate with, in a sense of you don't want any water damage or anything like that to short circuit the circuit. One of the first things that we'd like to just make sure and ensure that you don't set the function or set any of the dates or press any of the pushers or move any of the crowns when the watch is between 9 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Now at the moment there isn't an AM PM indicator on this piece. Don't be mistaken with the Moonphase as an AM or PM indicator. We want to make sure that the AM or PM of the time we know which phase it's in. So to do that with this piece, you would unscrew the protective crown. So this is a crown protector. Once that is out of the way, we will then pull the crown out one click. You can see that the second hand has stopped moving, and then we will go clockwise and we'll make sure that when we pass 12 o'clock nothing changes. Okay, so now nothing has changed. We knew that that was 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at midday, so just to be on the safe side, we'll just move that out of the way and put it to say 4 o'clock, or in this case it'll be 22 minutes past 4. Now that that's set, the current date today is the 14th. So now we will check which date it currently shows. So now that we've set the time in the correct place where we know that it's not between the danger of being between 9 and 3 o'clock in the morning, so 9 PM and 3 AM, we will now set the date. It currently shows as the 15th, Monday the 15th in March, and on the 3rd leap year. So now to set, we'll start off with the date. Now this particular piece and quite a lot of other pieces will set the date and the weekday simultaneously. So then there's a separate one to do the weekday and a separate one for the month. So let's first push the weekday and set the date, so the date and the weekday together. Now whenever pressing these, you don't want to press too hard or at an angle, and you always want to use something quite soft like a toothpick or wooden setting tool like this that we've just sharpened. You get many different pushers, like something like this, which is available online, which is made out of metal. You also get another one which is from Bergen, also has a strap adjustment tool on one side and the pusher on the other side. The only issue with something like that is because they're made out of metal, you can damage, or you can tend to push quite hard with those pieces, and could damage either the pusher, the movement, or scratch the case. So we always tend to say just use a wooden pusher or a toothpick. So once you've got the push button, you want to press and release it fully. Don't keep it there and keep pressing, because what you can do is like a clutch, where if you're resting your foot on the clutch, you've kind of slightly engaged it, which could then burn out the clutch, and same like this, you could ruin the button. So press it once. Okay, now we're at 16, 18, 19 and so forth. So we're going to go back all the way to 1 day before. I always set 1 day before, because then you know when you're setting the time for that day, you have completely, you'll know that whether it's AM or PM. So now we're getting there. Set it to the 13th, that's 10, 11, 12, 13. And today is a Wednesday, so we just need to do the day now. So this is currently Tuesday. Oh, that's perfect. So when we go to the 14th, it will then flip over to Wednesday. So we're set up now, so we wouldn't have to do the weekday. But if we had to do the weekday would be this push button here, and you would just press that, and that will then change the weekday. So you see it moves on its own, and now we can just reset that, and I'm giving very slight amount of force, nothing too serious. Now that's set to Tuesday. To set the leap year as well as the month, you want to press this push button here. This one will be hidden when the crown is screwed down underneath the crown guard. So you'd have to release the crown guard, and then hidden underneath, as you can see, there is a small push button there. So once we have that push button, then we depress May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and Jan. You'll see the leap year now has changed. So we're currently in a leap year, so now that shows us correct. And now we want to find the month that we're in, which is October. So September, October. Now everything has been set besides the moon phase, which we would have to check online first where the current phases of the moon is, then we can set that separately. Let me now, the last thing to do would be to now change the time, and then we want to do that again slowly and calmly without putting too much force. You never want to do this on the wrist either, because as explained in another video, you could put undue pressure onto the stem of the crown, and there we are, perfectly changed. So this is now 12:37 on the 14th in the morning on Wednesday, in the correct leap year, showing the correct month. So now let's set the current time, and the current time is 1:08. So let's keep going nice and slowly. So now we know that's 11, 12, 1, 10, okay, 10. Now a couple of minutes backwards is fine. You never want to go backwards more than 5 or 10 minutes. Also, especially the danger zone can be between, again, 9 and 3 o'clock in the morning. If you go backwards, you could ruin the cogs because they're engaged to change the date at that time. When you go backwards, you could then cause the gears inside the mechanism to fault. So there we are. So now that's 1:11. That time is perfectly set, and you just depress the crown, screw the crown back in, and the watch is good to go. And that concludes our video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please like, share, subscribe, and click on the notification buttons. And any suggestions you have, please leave a comment below. Hope you've enjoyed, and see you next time.